Hello everybody, welcome back to Super Syrupy Waffles, the online internet TV show where we talk about stupid video games. And today, we're talking about one of the greatest games I've played all year, Legend of Zelda: The Wind Waker. I've actually owned this game for about 10 years now, but never really played it. I got the Wii U edition that was bundled with the digital copy of the game, including this really neat art book. The main reason why I didn't play this when I got it was because I was just a stupid dumb kid who wasn't able to read or comprehend basic things in anything yet, and I just didn't think Zelda was all too great in my opinion. So fairly recently, I sat my buttocks down on my smelly couch and decided to give it another try. So finally, after 10 years, almost, of not playing this game, is it worth it? Let's find out. Before we actually get this game started, we have to talk about a little bit of the backstory here. When this game was originally released back in 2002, people were absolutely filled to the brim with anticipation. Before Wind Waker was originally shown off, there was this proof of concept video of Ganon fighting Link, which was meant to showcase what a potential next-gen Zelda game would look like on the GameCube. However, everyone's dreams of that proof of concept becoming a reality were shattered once this was shown off. The initial public reaction to Wind Waker's more cartoony, cel-shaded style graphics were extremely mixed. A lot of people hated it, but there were also a lot of people passing it off and saying that it's really the gameplay that matters. And that last part can be really said about any video game, so because of the reaction that the graphics received, Nintendo was very much worried about how the public would react toward the actual game itself, so they hid it until it was necessary to show off. Wind Waker's style is easily one of the best video game styles I had ever seen, and I'm pretty sure I would have adored it even back then. So when the game was released, people seemed to really like it. But in more recent times, that love has grown exponentially. Wind Waker is pretty much regarded as one of the greatest Zelda games ever made. So what about the story? The plot for this game takes place after the events of Ocarina of Time, after Link was sent back to his childhood and Ganon was sealed away for the rest of time. Ganon broke out of the realm he was sealed in and tried taking out Hyrule once again. Hyrule's citizens tried praying to their gods to try and stop Ganon's attacks, but as a result, the entire world got flooded by the gods. This suddenly became the story of Noah's Ark. So many years pass, and many heroes of time come and go, and then we manage to reach our current time, where some idiot blonde kid has decided to be the next hero of time. His name is Link, but my idiot brain named him Blake in all lowercase. That's me. So it's Link's birthday, and he's finally given his trusty green machine suit, which makes him transform into Peter Pan in tights.
Yeah, this was an expensive suit, and this was an $800 hat. Thanks, patron, suck my fucking ball.
Luckily enough for Link, the second he manages to get his stuff together, a gigantic bird is seen flying above Outset Island holding a girl. Pirates are giving chase with this bird until they make it drop the girl into the forest. After a journey through quite possibly the shortest area in a video game, you find out that this girl is named Tetra, and her main goal is doing pirate stuff and stopping the dumb bird. She's also a big jerk. Once Link and Tetra make it out of the forest, the bird swoops right back around and takes Link's sister, Errol. Or is it Ariel? I never could really tell. This leads Link and Tetra's gang of pirates to head toward the Forsaken Fortress to save Errol from the clutches of the fat, dumb bird. And just before Link manages to save Errol, the bird takes out Link and receives orders from Ganon just to throw this stupid kid out of here. An anthropomorphic boat of all things manages to find the unconscious green guy and take him back to Windfall Island, leaving Link unable to find the pirates again. The boat decides to help Link on his grand adventure to save Errol by being his only real form of transportation.
And even in the most extreme conditions!
Link travels across the ocean, gathering pearls and unlocking the power of the Master Sword. So skipping literally everything in this story, Link finds and saves Errol. Tetra ends up being Princess Zelda, and the boat is just the King of Hyrule. Although I wish he was CGI King of Hyrule, which then leads to Ganon's face getting impaled by Link, which turns him into a nice statue, all Bill Cipher style. Did you get all that? Well, hopefully you did, because this story isn't all too extravagant in terms of Zelda. It's very by the numbers, but it manages to work. All of the characters are really charming, especially Link himself. Everyone is just so expressive and unique with this art style, which really gives so many compliments to the art direction here. They nailed it. Link, or as he's known in everything else, Toon Link, is probably the best incarnation of him that there is. He's less of a blank, boring slate of a hero and more of a dumb kid, which I like. Tetra, although she's a jerk, once you find out that she is actually Princess Zelda, it's as if her entire personality just sort of changes. I much prefer the more wiseness and leadership of Tetra before she becomes Zelda, but maybe that's just a me thing. Talking about the gameplay itself, it sure does have a lot of water. Water! All of Wind Waker's real transportation from one area to the next is all done using water! A lot of people really don't like how this is handled, but I think it captures the sense of going on a big adventure better than most other Zelda games that I've played. You know, I should go on an adventure right now. Yeah.
I'll grab my stuff!
As you travel across the Great Ocean, you encounter many islands, 49 of them in fact. A good majority of them are optional, while others are not, and are crucial to beating the game. These islands in question have many different inhabitants, some of which you get to see return throughout the game. However, my personal favorite NPCs are the pirates. All of them are really charming and great to see whenever they come up. One of my favorite interactions happens when you return to Windfall Island after completing the second dungeon. It goes a little something like this.
Hey, quiet down and quit fooling around. We've got things to take. Ah! And yes, I see you too, annoying kid. Hehe, winky face.
Also, things like this can happen. There are a lot of small interactions like this in the game which really add to the immersion in the world and offer a bit of a comic relief from all the sailing and exploration that you do. Controlling Link in this game is pretty great. Everything works very well and is really fun to control. And an exception of this would be the boat in tight spaces, but what are you gonna do? It's a boat in a small space, I think you got the memo. Speaking of traveling, going from island to island is pretty rewarding, but it does get very repetitive near the end though. I didn't explore the entire game all the way, but from what I did explore, it was really fun. Actually, my favorite things to go out and find were the fairy fountains. Although the great fairies in this game look a little odd in this game, the scenery and spectacle of these places really stick with me. Well, the great fairies always looked kind of odd, didn't they? Anytime you get an upgrade, you really feel like you've accomplished a big goal on your journey, whether that be your magic bar, rupee count, bombs, or arrows. These are all really fun to find no matter what the circumstances. Well, I guess there's really one true thing that I despise about this game, and that's the Triforce Quest. The main slip here is that the Triforce of Courage has been completely broken apart into 8 pieces, which were scattered across the ocean, and Link has to go out and find all of them using Triforce charts, which can only be deciphered by Tingle. And I hate Tingle. Tingle stinks, I hate him. Well, that sounds fine, not too bad, until you find out that it costs rupees to decipher the charts. How much exactly? 398 rupees. That means that in order for you to complete this game properly, you're gonna have to grind for rupees like your life depends on it. Which brings the game's pace to go from a screeching halt to a flat-out car crash in the matter of minutes. Thankfully, the HD remaster of Wind Waker completely fixes this problem by giving you the first 5 pieces without you having to decipher charts, with the last 3 being the opposite. And I'm so glad I played this game, and not the original GameCube release. For a change of pace, we should talk about a bad game. A real bad game. Yeah. It's not Super Mario Sunshine, don't get your hopes up, man.